Milanista report, we break it down right for the culture, for the tactics, for the game. AC Milan forever repping the name. It's Nicko in the booth, bringing truth to the scene. Milanista report, freshest vibe you ever seen. When it comes to defense, ain't nobody sharper. Breaking down duels like I'm Paulo's partner. Maldini on the line, that's where it all starts. Tactical knowledge, hitting hard like street smarts. Every episode, man, is deeper than the stats. I'm dropping game plans like I'm playing with the cats. Mercenary pride, this ain't no side hustle. Analyzing plays with that mob deep muscle. From the back line to the final third press, it's all love from Milan, ain't no second guess. The Milanista report, the realest in the game. Nicko with the knowledge, always stay inflamed for the love of Milan. Paulo's name and lights, we the source for tactics, always taking flight. Milanista report, ain't no doubt it's the best. We breaking down the system, every move we assess. From the defensive grind to the team's attack, Nicko got your back with that Rossoneri tag. No, it's deeper than just watching the goals and the hype. We study every battle, the defensive type. From Maldini to Baresi, I break down the flow. Nicko in the cut, giving y'all the real show. This podcast ain't a game, it's a masterclass. Peep the backline setups, every tackle, every pass. Other pods just talk, but they miss the details. We focus on the struggle where the legends prevail. Talking Paulo Maldini, the heart of the club. Ain't no faking the passion, this love ain't a dub. I'm the voice of the fans, for the love of the crest. They see Milan forever, we only rock with the best. With Milanista report, the realest in the game. Nicko with the knowledge, always stay inflamed for the love of Milan. Paulo's name and lights, we the source for tactics, always taking flight. Milanista report, ain't no doubt it's the best. We breaking down the system, every move we assess. From the defensive grind to the team's attack, Nicko got your back with that Rossoneri tag. Other pods, nah, they just scratching the surface. Nicko go deep, showing y'all the purpose. AC Milan ain't just about winning the race, it's about structure, unity, and defensive grace. So tune in, get schooled by the best in the game. Milanista report, steady rising in fame. Nicko repping hard for the red and the black. Paulo's spirit lives on and we never look back. Milanista report, the voice of the streets. Defensive tactics like you never heard before. Nicko's got the knowledge, you know we stay raw. Milanista report, the voice of the streets. Defensive tactics like you never heard before. Nicko's got the knowledge, you know we stay raw. Milanista report, the voice of the streets. Defensive tactics like you never heard before. Nicko's got the knowledge, you know we stay raw. Milanista report, the voice of the streets. Defensive tactics like you never heard before. Nicko's got the knowledge, you know we stay raw. Milanista report, the voice of the streets. Defensive tactics like you never heard before. Nicko's got the knowledge, you know we stay raw. Milanista report, 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 Milanista report.
What's up, Rosaneri, Milanisti fans?
Tactics like you never heard before. Nicko's got the knowledge, you know we stay raw.
All right, let's do it. What's going on, Rosaneri, Milanisti? Rough game yesterday. But before we get into that, let's give out a quick. I actually saw this today on the news when I got up. So in the chats, the great Salvatore Toto Schilarchi, probably butchered his last name, and apologies. The Italian Azzurri striker, top scorer at the World Cup of 1990, died at the age of 59 today. Sad news. Wishing all positive vibes to his family out there. All right. To all the Azzurri fans, calcio fans, football fans around the world, that were old enough to watch him play in the World Cup. Are feeling today are definitely saddened by his passing. It looked like he passed away from colon cancer, which sucks, man. Yeah. So, but let's get back to the regular program here. So, yeah, rest in peace, Toto. You'll be missed. All right. So, obviously, today is post-game therapy, right? Yesterday's devastating, I guess, yeah, devastating loss to Liverpool. We didn't expect that. Well, I think a lot of us were expecting it in the back of our head, actually. Let's be real. We just didn't think we thought maybe our team would show up, show a little bit of fight, a little bit of glimmer of hope that they were, wanted to win this game, something, and they showed nothing. Again, you know, I know some fans out there probably got hyped up after the 4-0 win versus Venezia, thinking we're back in business. This is a good, way of getting into the Liverpool game, playing at home in front of our fans. And by the way, from all accounts, from watching the game on TV, and we actually had a friend of ours, Shane, who's a co-host on Milanista 360, was at the game, and that stadium was empty. So the fans are showing their distrust, their hatred, their despise for the club itself, not for the players intentionally, I don't think, but for management, the way things are being run currently with Jerry, with the whole fucking Milanista, like the Yankee branding with the fucking logo, which is just a disgrace. The way the team is set up, to the players that they purchased, the things are being said about the stadium, all of it. And fans are starting to notice, and they're starting to respond where it counts, and that's hurting management's pockets by not buying tickets. Because Champions League games, especially at the San Siro, are usually packed to the rafters, and that wasn't the case at all. All right. Hey, by the way, everybody in the chat, what's going on? Everybody, where you're from, if you're from the United States, East Coast, West Coast, Europe, Asia, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying locked in. And don't forget, always subscribe, like, all right? And check out our previous pods as well. All right. So the game, obviously we lost 3-0, right? Not a good start. Not a good game, I should say. Really bad game. We got off to a good foot, good starting yesterday. So a quick recap of the game. Pulisic started the game well. Mike got the ball out to him, which we've seen Mike do in the past. So it's a good thing. We noticed something that I was afraid of not to see was, Fonseca taking that option away from Mike because they wanted to build it up from the back, right? And play that Fonseca ball. Mike used his weapon that he has, one of his best weapons. That's the long ball, hitting players out in the pitch, in stride on the run. And Pulisic took it, the 3 minutes in the game, got a nice goal, cut in, and boom, went far post, 1-0. Milan. But that was it. After that, Pulisic ghosted for the rest of the game. Not surprisingly, he's done it again before as well in the past. Calabria, what do we tell you about him? He was fucking horrible yesterday. So 22 minutes into the game, there's a play outside of the box. So this is something, and he complained about it too, and it was clearly a foul. He made a reckless challenge, something he shouldn't have done, especially in a dangerous spot like that. Giving a free kick to Liverpool. All right. They take the free kick. And the first thing that I noticed was the way we're set up on the set pieces, something that I noticed last year with Pioli as well. We're playing the zonal fucking marking. When teams are taking, their set pieces with corner kicks, free kicks, that type of thing. And again, Boom, Konate scores a goal because of this zonal fucking press. The zonal marking doesn't work. You need to change it up, you know. So they score first goal, Konate. Then Fofana, for whatever Riyad knows, what was he thinking? Konate, Fofana, by the way, was not great either. Again, right? Was weak on the ball most of the time. Lost a lot of challenges. Didn't recover balls. But in the 31st minute, he picks up a yellow. So in that play, pre-get my notes really quick. Yeah, Fofana. So Salah's got the ball, I believe. And for whatever reason, there's this man covering behind Fofana. He's got coverage. And for whatever reason, Fofana decides to take a tactical foul. Not a good place to take it, especially if you have coverage behind you. You don't do that. You let him go. Trust your teammates to help you out, to slow down the attacking player, the ball carrier. Fofana gets a yellow card. So now within the first half and 31 minutes in the game, we got 2 yellow cards, which changes the complexion of the game as well. Because now you have Fofana who needs to play physical, needs to be able to, take other fouls, and you got a yellow. Calabria as well, which changes the complexion of the game and your mentality as a player. All right, now we got going into 39th minute then. This is before the second goal from Liverpool. Salah is a 1v1 on Pavlovic. Right? Obviously, you're not taking 1v1 against Salah, and I said this beginning at the pregame yesterday. Liverpool was going to use their wingers. They've done that in the EPL under Slot. They don't go play through their forwards a lot. We saw that. They were playing up the wings, Salah and their other winger again and again, exposing our fullbacks and exposing our 2 midfielders that don't do their jobs defensively and help out those fullbacks when they're pinned in 1v1 on those open spaces on that formation, that 4-2-3-1. And we see this. Salah takes advantage of that open space. Pavlovic is 1v1, right? Salah takes a really good shot. Mike was great yesterday, by the way. Mike was fucking great up to that injury. Makes a really good save. Corner kick. Now, this is where the zonal marking was fucking a mess again, a problem. Chemikas, the Greek, takes a corner kick. Virgil van Dijk, who should be at least being marked by somebody like, obviously, Pavlovic, right, because of the same height. And Pavlovic is an aerial, demon. He's really good in the air. Who's marking him? Tijani, I believe, because of that zonal marking system. All right. And obviously Liverpool noticed it the first time they scored the first goal at the zonal marking, they could take advantage of it. They took advantage of it again. They exposed it. Virgil van Dijk jumps. Goal. 2-0. 2-1 Liverpool. So now it's looking bad because at this point, after that, before this second goal, what I noticed was Liverpool was really starting to impose their will defensively. Their press got really intense, super intense, causing us to make mistakes from the back. Right? Pavlovic was scared. He made a couple of mistakes. He was trying to go long ball, and he's not a long ball passer. He's not like Bostoni. Right? He's not at that level. Or, those really high-level center backs that can hit you with the long ball and have a really good high completion rate. Pavlovic is not that player. And he forced him into errors time and time again. Tomori as well. And our midfielders. And the counter press got turned up as well. They ate us up in the counter press. Things that I mentioned during the pre-game show yesterday. These are the things that I was worried about. Because those are the 2 things that Liverpool is really good at. right? And they started to pick up the pace because they noticed that Milan don't have the ball carriers, don't have the ability to break these kind of presses. They're going to have problems with them. All right. So first half is over. We're down 2-1. The game has changed. We got 2 yellow cards. The pressure's being turned up by Liverpool on their high press, counter press. They're exposing our wingers, our 2 fullbacks on the wings. Right? Second half. All right. So before so at this point, Mike gets subbed out, right, for Torriani, the young kid. Torriani came in, actually had a decent game. He didn't play bad at all. Hey, Tick Size, what's going on? First timer, London, UK. Rex got a UK friend in the chat as well, in our personal chat. Lab Gorilla. He's outside of London. Thanks for tuning in, man. Tick. Tick says, I have no idea. Let's see what Tick. Let's bring Tick's chat up. I have no idea why people are shocked with last night's performance. This is a failure of the transfer market management and the foolish selection of the coach. A recipe for disaster. Yeah, Tick. This is something we've talked about time and time again, man, on this pod and, and other pods that we're friends with, like Rosanera TV, right? And Milan Coast to Coast, Milan Weekly Podcast. That management doesn't have a clue what they're doing because they don't care. First, they're clueless, not having a sporting director, a lot of things going on with that. But, I'll get into that in a little bit later in the show, more into that, and my distrust for management, and reasons why I hate them. I just wish they would just leave completely, right? Sell the club, which is not going to happen, and get a new owner that actually cares about football and is a smart businessman as well. All right, so back to the game. So Mike gets pulled out, all right? And then McAllister gets a yellow card, big deal. Now, 67th minute, right? This is the third goal. So this third goal, that the last goal Liverpool scored. And by the way, they had a ton of other opportunities. They hit the post a couple of times, and they just got really unlucky. And Mike made some amazing saves too. But the 67th minute, so terrible 1-1 defending by Pavlic. I didn't expect him to take the ball away from Gapko. Gapko's a dangerous player, right? But what should have done, because he was coming down the right side of the pitch, all right? You got to force either try to slow him down, which he didn't do, wait for somebody to help you, wait for your team to get its shape back and they get players back to recover behind the ball, or force him wide to try to get him a more difficult crossing. That didn't happen. Pavlic, he bit on Gapko. Gapko got him. Gapko made a move, right? And that led to the second goal, like the assist by Gapko. Gapko found Szoboszlai, right? Third goal. End of game. At this point, there's nothing else. Our team was dead. We made a couple substitutions. Tabor Abraham came in the 69th minute for Loftus-Cheeks. Loftus-Cheeks was nothing either. It was terrible. All right. He had a good game against Venezia, and I praised him about that. But this game, he was non-existent. He was ghost. Because they're not Loftus-Cheeks, Fofana, Musa, right? All the midfielders that we have are not high-level midfielders. They can't play in this kind of system. As a matter of fact, they can't even play in a 4-3-3. I mentioned it yesterday. A 4-3-3, you need three really good, high-level, above-average midfielders, right? Especially the two on the outside, because they got to cover that space behind them, that open space, just like the 4-2-3-1 at the double pivot, right? We don't have the midfielders for the 4-4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 to be successful. I don't care what anybody else says. I know a lot of people out there and some former coaches, some pundits saying a 4-3-3 is the answer. It's going to change everything. First of all, Fonseca is not known to play 4-3. He's played it at Roma, but it's not his thing. It's not his bread and butter. And second point, let's say if you wanted to play it against Inter, you need weeks to prepare your team to get comfortable for a 4-3-3 to change formation. You just can't do it overnight like that. You just can't say, okay, all right, we're back from the Champions League. We have a couple of days to prepare for Inter. Let's go change formation. Let's do it in the training set. That's not enough time. You need weeks to get your players to adapt to that. And you need a coach who's able to teach the players at a high quickly as well, to able to make them understand the finer points of a 4-3-3. And we don't have that. We don't have the time. We don't have the coach. So I don't want to hear it again. And for some of the popular Milan podcasts out there, some of you out there that keep saying 4-3-3, 4-3-3, 4-3-3, you're not experts. You don't know what it takes. We don't have the players. We don't have the coach. I don't want to hear it again. We're done. Unless we get a new coach that's known for the play of 4-3, like Sadi, and he might go to Roma now because they just fired their club legend, De Rossi. Good for them, by the way. They're showing some ambition. Maybe they fired him a little bit too early. Maybe they should have given him a couple more games. But boom, right away, Roma, man, the owners were like, nah, we're good with De Rossi. We don't need you anymore. And they got rid of him. And yet we're still stuck with Fonseca. And according to some Milan fans out there and some podcasters, and I'm going to cook you right now because it's cooking season. Fonseca needs to go. I don't want to hear, we need to give Fonseca more time. It's not his fault. Yes, it's management's fault for hiring him, for not giving him the right players. But he's responsible. He is the face of the team right now. He's the one that came in and during his initial conference, he said, I'm going to balance his team out and we're going to fix the defense. I know what we need and all this other shit. He hasn't fixed anything. He didn't fix anything during preseason. And he's getting exposed right now. He got exposed in the first couple of games too, against teams we should have beaten. So enough. I don't want to hear the 4-3-3. Nothing's going to change things right now for us. All right. You want to change something drastically, and this is something Fonseca cannot do either, is play a 3-4-3, right? Have your three, because we have three really decent center backs. We have Gabbia, they could play center back. You could have Pavlovic, they could play on the left side. And you have Tomori. Then you pack the midfield. We don't have, like I said, we don't have the best midfield, so you could move Theo up a bit on the left side. You could move either Calabria or Emerson Royale. They have less defensive duties to do. And you pack the middle either with 4 or 5. Shit. And this is, so somebody else is saying this too. Rosanary TV. Hey. With Roy and those guys. They've said it multiple times as well. Myself, him, and a few other channels are the only channels out there, the very few Milan podcasts that are saying this. at the 3-5-2 or 3-4-3 is the way to go. But that, like I said, you need the right coach and you need time. So don't expect any new changes anytime soon for this club. We're stuck with this formation for now because this is what Fonseca knows. But like I said, back to this game, nothing else happened. After that third goal, the air was out. They had multiple chances again. We made more subs. Okafor came in for Morata. Gabbia came in for Tomori. And actually, Gabbia did, in limited minutes, did well. He won all his challenges. Looked good in limited minutes. And then we saw Chiesa come in for Salah. And then Endu came from McAllister, end of game. So let's get some stats really fast. So Milan 49% possession, Liverpool 51%, passing accuracy, pretty much the same, 82, 84. This is the big difference. We had a total of 8 shots on target. 2 of 8, 25%. Liverpool, 11 of 23. That's what Mike and Torriani, poor kid, coming into his first Champions League game, his first start, was getting bombarded by shots. And I said this on yesterday's pod as well, yesterday. We can't give away high quality, uncontested shots from open play. And that's exactly what we did yesterday. Exactly what happened. Anybody who could take their glasses off, their Milan glasses off for just 1 second, knew this thing that was going to come. You knew the patterns. And I don't want to hear this is Pioli's fault. All right. Pioli's done. Pioli's history. Fonseca, his assistant coach. Ferreira, his name is, who is the guy from Lille, who was in charge of the defensive tactics. This is on them. And management, too. So, by the way, I got a word. I got something to say to management. Malakis. All right? Anybody who knows Greek, you know the word malaka. Nah, Jerry. Nah, Furlani. Nah, Ibra, for your big fat mouth. That's what you get for ruining my club, you fucks. All right? All right, more stats. Let's get back to this. Cards, yellow cards, 2 yellow cards apiece. All right? And let's get into some more fun stats here. Let's get into defensive actions for our players. Fofana, who was non-existent. Tackles lost, tackles won. He lost 3 tackles, won 1 tackle. Defensive third, he made 1 tackle in defensive third, mid third 2. He was 2 out of 5 in tackles. Hernandez, 1 tackle lost, tackle 0. He didn't win any tackles, defensive third. Pavlich lost 2, won 2. He was 2 out of 4 in challenges. It's 50%. But he was out of position too. Multiple times he got caught. He got exposed for his inexperience and because he's not a good 1v1 defender. Tomori, 2 out of 1. Didn't lose any challenges, but he wasn't great either. Tomori, he was okay. But, in position when we're trying to build it, he was terrible. Gabbia, not enough minutes, but he did win his challenges, but didn't get any tackles. Calabria, nothing. Emerson Royale. Yeah, this is when stats really say much. 1 for 1, tackles 1, tackles lost 1, tackles 1, 1. Not great at all. At all. Look at even our passing stats here. Let's look at our guys. Our Fofana. Pass types. We didn't even have any switches. Fofana had 1 switch. Theo Hernandez had 1 switch, 4 crosses, throw-ins. Pavlovic, didn't have a great game. Let's see what Pavlovic, let's look at the stats. Pavlovic was, this is terrible, 57 out of 69, 82%. Horrible. Because that counter press and high press just really fucked us up. Hernandez, 37 out of 47, 78%, 78.7%, even worse. For Tomori was terrible, 45 out of 55, 81.8. All right, I mean, short passes, he was for 85% Tomori, Pavic 88%, Hernandez 95. That's respectable, right? Short passes. But 88% and 85% is a joke. Medium, Tomori was a little bit better, 92%. Pavlovic, 88.6. Hernandez was 76. In long ball, we were just a joke. All three, Hernandez, Pavlovic, Tomori, were 42.9%. And where's our boy Emerson Royale? He was 1 for 1, 100%. Well, okay. Completion rate, medium 3 to 4, 75. Short passes, 80%. 8 out of 10. You got to make your short passes, man. It should be at least 90-something percent. And he totaled 12 for 15, 80%. Emerson was non-existent. And let's look at our midfielders. Fofana, 84%. Total short passes, horrible, 21 out of 28, 75. Completion rate, medium, 21 out of 22. That's respectable. 95, that's pretty good. And long ball, 2 out of 2. But overall, Fofana didn't have a great game. You need more teeth. He didn't. Defensively, he was a ghost again. And so was Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek, let's look at his stats really quick. 17 out of 21, total 81%. Terrible, 7 out of 9. Short passes, 78, 77%. Terrible. Medium, 9 out of 10. Yeah, 90. Long ball is 0. And just to have some fun, let's look at Liverpool. Let's look at McAllister. McAllister, 86%. Not bad. He was 88% out of short passes, 88.9% medium, and 60% long ball. And Gavin Birch. Well, they were good double pivots, those guys, by the way. 90% Gavin Birch. Total 86% short. Medium, he was on point. He hit all 15 of his medium passes, 100%. The long balls, 1 attempt. I mean, guys, let's be honest. You know, with stats and everything else and the way the game looked, weren't great. This is just things to come. Let's just look at one more thing. Let's look at SofaScore really quick. Let's look at SofaScore and look at our game versus where is it? Let's look for our game versus, where is it? Okay, yep, Liverpool. Liverpool, there we go. Look at stats. So big chances. They had 5, we had 0. Total shots 23 to 8. Corner kicks 5-2. This is the first reading off Liverpool stats. Fouls 12 to 9. Passes 460 to 446. Tackles 14 to 16. Free kicks 8 to 12. Yellow cards 2 to 2. Yeah, by the way, Leao was, he beat his man a couple of times, but his finishing plays were terrible yesterday too. So shots on goal 11 to 2. Liverpool to Milan hit the woodwork twice. We hit it once. That was the end of with Leao, like the 90 plus minutes. Shots on targets 8-4. Shots blocked 4-2. Shots inside the box, like I said, uncontested high quality shots 17-6. Shots outside the box 6-2. Big chances scored 3-0. Big chances missed 2-0. Through balls 1. We didn't have one through ball, which is whatever, terrible. Touches in penalty area 39-18. Fouls in final third 2-2. Offsides 4-3. And this is a big one. Final third entry passes 65-35. That's a big one. Final third phase 71%, 73. Oh, man. Duels. We did win more duels. Wow, that's great. Defending tackles won. They won 71% of their tackles. We won 56. That's a big number too. They had 49 recoveries. We had 46. They had 10 interceptions. We had 8. Yeah, listen. Overall, the numbers and the eye tests say everything about this game. Let's see what's going on with the chat really fast. Listen, let me get your thoughts. People in the chat, so I see about 6 people right now tuning in. Give me your thoughts on the game. What do you guys think about this performance? And then I'm going to get into the next segment. Give me your thoughts. Mom, let me hear it. Milan fans, Liverpool fans, if you're in there, trying to, piss me off today because I'm not in a good mood. All right, listen. Let's go. This is post-game therapy, people. Let's get your feelings out on anything. I don't care what you have to say. It's, free for all. All right, you had your chances. Back to business. All right, so next segment, why our hard press and counter press was ineffective. All right, obviously Liverpool's high press and counter press was extremely effective. We noticed that within after we scored our first goal, they turned up the heat. They said, all right, they locked us down. This shit's not gonna happen again. Milan had their opportunity, scored. Let's lock them down. Let's start pressuring them because they don't have the players, those kind of players on the ball, skills to able to beat our press. We beat it a couple of times, once or twice, maybe a couple of times. Overall, like I said, we were lost because we're trying to play from the back. We're playing right into their strength. So, but on the flip side, our press, which we play a man-to-man, and it takes, again, you got to be a cohesive unit of wolves, of a unit to play an effective high press. And if you don't have all 10 players doing their job, this is not going to work. And that happened again yesterday. We've seen it in previous game in Serie A, where players like Leao, other players are not doing their job. They're their lack of focus. They don't have the drive, the passion to play defense because you gotta want to play defense. You have to have it in you to play defense, to get dirty, to get up on your opponent's face, to get physical. And we don't have ball-winning midfielders for that either, especially for a counter press. This is something we had in the past, and we got rid of all of them. We got rid of Kessie, we got rid of Tonali to buy a bunch of average players besides Pulisic. The rest of them, Tajani, he's all right, but he's nothing special. He's better at his national team. Maybe he's not being used right. Maybe the wearing the Milan jersey is too much for him, but he's okay. But we got rid of Tonali. And we lost Benny to injury. And then we have Fofana, Loftus-Cheeks, and Musa. Those are our midfielders. That's not going to cut it in any system, in a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. Ain't going to do it. It's not going to fly. And for that reason alone, your counter press is not going to work, right? In addition, overall, your high press is not going to work either, because we don't have the players for it, because they don't want to defend most of them, right? And I hate to say this, but Leao as well, because Leao has been exposed time and time again. You can see him, and especially when we lose the ball, and they're countering. They're moving up the field, right? They're transitioning from the defense to offense, the other team. There's a lot of time he just walks back. Maybe that's something Fonseca is telling him to do. I don't know. But optically, seeing that as a fan, you don't want to see that. You want to see your players trying to get the ball back, trying to win the balls back. And that's the reason our high press was, again, non-existent, was garbage. And our counter press was garbage as well. All right? And if that's going to happen, that's what Liverpool exposed it. They just ran through us, got their ball out to their wings, out to Salah, Gapco, those guys. Nunez later on, and Diaz. And they just took it to us because they knew that once they got the ball out to the wings, they knew our midfielders were not going to be, able to slow them down and cover that open space behind them, right? And they were going to be 1v1 with our defenders, their back line, with either our fullbacks or center backs in some cases. Because why is Pavlovic 1v1 with Salah or Gapco? Why? Where's our fullbacks? Because they're out of position. They don't have the speed. I'm not saying you have to be a track star, but have some goddamn speed. Emerson is slow as shit. Calabria, due to injuries over the years, he's not the same player. And you got Theo. He looks, I don't know. He had his moments, but overall, he looks a little bit off as well. I don't know if it's a lack of motivation because of his contract. But when you have all these people not doing their jobs, they're not recovering on runs, they're not pressing, they're not trying to win balls because they don't have the ability or the drive, because they're out of position, you're going to get exposed. And this is on Fonseca, this is on his assistant coaches. If we're not teaching this, if we're not getting it through the players at this point of the season, and this is on management, this is on fucking Ibra for not doing his job, for not giving a shit, for taking vacations. This is on Jerry, this is on Forlani and Moncada for getting the players. It's Moncada who picked up Emerson Royal for 15 mil. So you add that all together, and this is what we get. So on to the next coaching candidates to replace Fonseca, because I don't care what anybody has to say out there, any other fans, podcasters, some of the podcasts, some of the fans agree with this. But listen, we can't go on with Fonseca. Listen, overall, this is not replacing Fonseca. It's not going to change a whole lot, especially with the whole culture of the club. That's on management. But there's a few coaches I like to see, and I don't think management's going to do it. I don't think Jerry and them have the balls to admit they made a mistake by hiring Fonseca, because this is on them. They're the one that hired him. They had other candidates out there this season to hire. I'm not saying Conte, that was not going to happen. De Zerbi was a viable option. Cousin Sal, we ended up with Fonseca. Somebody who's way over his head as a coach, tactically, everything. You can see it in his face. He's fucking done. He's fried. He looks like he aged 20 years overnight. But the few coaches I like to see would be Vanoli from who's currently at Torino. I mentioned him before. And he plays a system that would probably be the best overall for this team. He plays a 3-5-2, plays very similar to Inzaghi because he studied under Inzaghi. He studied under Conte, who's another coach that plays a 3-back system. And we've seen it. Vanali's team, Torino, was really good tactically. They beat us. And he'd be a really good option. Second one would be Allegri. Yeah, not my first option. We don't want to. Who wants to see Allegri back and just recycling coaches? But he plays 3 in the back. If you want to go with Italian coaches, and you have Sarri, who plays a 4-3-3. That again, some people out there think that's the answer, but it's not. But regardless, I don't think management, I don't think Jerry, I don't think any of them have the ambition to make these changes. They're going to stick with Fonseca. I don't know for how long, because we got Inter playing next. How many games until we keep fucking losing like this and just keep it going down. But overall, no matter who they hire, systematically, as a whole, as a club, a lot of things need to change. I said it before. We're going down a really fucking just disgusting, embarrassing path as a club for who we are. We're fucking Milan. We've won 7 UCL championships. We've had great players over the years. That should mean something. And Jerry and them have come in and ripped that apart, they've stripped it all apart. And they put this team together. Just to sell a few more jerseys, just to do a couple, market their players in the United States, to go play in the Yankee Stadium. And this is what we got on the fields. Because when the real competition has kicked in, this is what we get. So we'll see. Let's see if they shows a little bit of ambition to save the season and hire someone like Vanoli or Allegri. Sorry, I don't even want to see him. I know that's a viable option, but he plays a 4-3-3, and we don't have the players for that. We don't. Our midfielders are fucking below average defensively. They don't win balls. They don't recover balls. They're out of position. They don't have the teeth. They don't have the positional awareness defensively to do the jobs they need to do, the responsibility they need to do to play a 3 midfield or a 2 midfield double pivot. They don't have it. You get someone like Vanoli who plays a 3-5-2. You stack the midfield. You have 5 midfielders. Yeah, it's going to take time to figure it out, the spacing and things like that. But overall, long term, it might help calm things down a little bit. But like I said, I don't know if this is going to happen. I highly doubt it. Maybe they'll surprise us. They'll hire an American coach. Because according to management, Milan is a U.S. company, right? It's a U.S. brand right now. With the whole Yankee branding and all the other shit. It's not a Milan club. It's not an Italian club, which is another joke. Hey, again, everybody's tuned in, locked in. Appreciate it. Give me your thoughts on what you think about management, the game, all of it. Let's get the chats right here. All right, so we went over the game. We went over the issues, the defensive issues in the game. Went over why it failed. Big surprise there. Just we don't have the players for that. We don't have the system. We don't have the coach. Things are slowly just coming apart at Milan, which is a shame because we got Inter next, and we'll see what happens with Inter. A couple of things might happen. Inter might take us lightly, thinking they can come in and half-ass it, knowing that they've beaten us, 6, 7 times in a row now, whatever the number is. And they might not take the game seriously, might not be as focused as they should be playing in that derby. So, if that happens, we might have an outside chance of beating them or drawing them. Or they might come in fully motivated, depending how they played it against Man City. All right, that's going to be a tough game. I've spoken to a couple of Interisti, some Interisti out there, and they're not confident in today's game. They think Man City might win because they're playing away too, which is tough. Inter, that's not an easy game. But, if they come into the derby focused and ready to fucking murder us. Hey, what's up? Let's talk Milan. Ciao, bro. Let me get your thoughts. Let's talk Milan. What do you think about the game? The way things being run with management? I think Ibra had said the other day. Matter of fact, let's do something. So, a couple of things that Ibra came out with some shit yesterday. Let's see if I can find it. So, looks like, first thing, looks like Mike has had a concussion. Oh, contusive trauma to his right thigh. Oh, that's great. So a couple other things that happened yesterday. At the final whistle, the whole team except Leao immediately returned to the locker room, went under the curvature to take an incredible wave of whistles. So Leao returned to the locker room immediately after the game. That's showing real leadership. You're a fucking number 10, and that's your behavior. And from seeing the video footage, he was walking the tunnel back to his locker room on his phone, probably beefing it out with some fans. Let's see what else came up on the news yesterday. I'm trying to find it here. I had a friend, he went to the Milan museum yesterday. Okay, so this is Fonseca yesterday. Now everything is at stake in the derby. For the bookies, dismissal just the derby thus became the last resort. No, that's not what I wanted. I'm trying to find something, but I can't find it. Screenshots. Okay, here we go. So Capello versus Fonseca. Did you prepare a zonal? Also, this is Capello. Talk to Fonseca. Did you prepare a zonal defense against a team that was known to be strong in the air? Van Dijk is marked, but the other one is free. This is what Capello said. Exactly what I just said before. On that set piece, on the Van Dijk goal, that zonal marking, where they fucking exposes the first time with that the first goal. a header. They did the same exact thing, and Van Dijk was marked by a shorter player, by Tijani. This is Boban. He came out and said, Milan lacks a leader in the midfield. Yeah, no kidding. Let's see what. Hey, Chris, thanks for tuning in, bro. Forza Soccer. And let's pull up. The situation is a clusterfuck. Yeah, exactly. Where are the Italian players? Let's go through the chat really fast. Let me get back to the Boban stuff in a minute. Where are the Italian players? Yeah, Chris, we do have a couple of Italian players. Gabbia, Calabria. That's the Italian core, Chris. Tick size. We must make a change regarding the coach. However, I don't see it happening anytime soon as manager running. Yes, exactly. It's just what I said before. I mean, I just mentioned a few names. Vanoli, who plays a 3-5-2, which myself and the guys from Rosenary TV, shout out to them. A few other people that I've spoken to as well. I know the 4-3, everybody is in love with this 4-3-3, but it's not the answer. We don't have the players for it again. We don't have the midfielders for that. Stack up the midfield with 3-5-2 or 3-4-3. Something Vanoli is known to play. But again, management has other agendas. They're a financial organization. They're focused on the finances. All right, it's heating up right now, huh? I don't see a way out of it. Even if they change coach, I can't think of anyone who can sort things out. Yeah, long term, it comes down to management. Because say it's like Vanelli comes in, or Sadi, or Allegri. Will he get the support from management, especially in the next window? Because say if that coach wants a player out and wants a new player, somebody who fits the system a little bit more, will he get that support? Probably not. Yeah, let's talk Milan. I have a couple of names. Sorry, not my first option. Vanoli from Torino, that's my favorite guy right now. Because he plays a system that would benefit us the most, 3-5-2. And he plays similar to Inzaghi and Conte. You know, two of the best coaches in Italy. Fonseca won a royal chicken, but he can't play. That's another thing. We played 15 mil for this guy. He couldn't even start in the Champions League game. All right, fellas. I love the discussion. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, it would have been a disaster. I mean, Calabria wasn't great either. Borrell would have been worse. So I'll get to everybody's questions in a minute. So let me get to this question real quick, Chris. Your question. What's your prediction for today's game, City versus Inter? I think City's going to win. I think even though Inter's got, they played a good defense. They played them well in the Champions League final a few seasons ago. 1-0, I think it was. But, even Interisti they're not, most of them that I've spoken to are not confident in today's game that they could win. They're playing in Man City. I'm sure Pep is going to have his boys ready. So I think they're going to lose Inter. Probably like 1-0. I don't think they get smoked out. They're too good for that. Inzaghi's not going to allow his team to get fucking embarrassed. Like we got embarrassed yesterday. It's going to be a good game, I think. It's going to be tight, but I think City's going to find a way to win. They're going to score 1 or 2 goals, maybe win 2-1 and call it a night. Let me get to one more chat real quick. For a life of me, I can't understand why Pioli is first and Fonseca now keeping with delusional ideas of dominating football. We don't have the players for that. We don't. We don't have the midfielders. We don't have the center backs for that. Pavlovic, I just went over the stats before, fellas, earlier, a little while ago on the stats. Our passing stats, completion rate they were horrible. And once Liverpool turned up the heat, right, with their high press and counter press, they exposed our players. Yeah, Chris, don't tell me about Kalulu. This one hurts. By the way, Kalulu yesterday. So Kalulu just went to Juve recently. He's already a starting right back. And I saw Juve's game yesterday. I mean, they played PSV, not the fucking strongest team, not a dangerous team by any means. But Kalulu looks good. He looks confident. He looks like he's got good chemistry with the team already. And I brought it up a couple of weeks ago in the last couple of podcasts. Kalulu came out in an interview. He said he has more direction at Juve. He understands what's happening. He has clearer instructions. This is coming from a player he was at Milan way longer under this coach, under Fonseca, than he was with Mota. So this is where levels of coaching, you can notice it. Mota is at a different level than Fonseca. He's able to explain things better. His staff has explained things better at a different level to their players to make them understand how the system works, how they want them to play. And Kalulu is admitting to the public, he admitted that they have their shit together at Juve more than Milan. And you can see in the way he's playing out in the field. It's just fucking night and day. It's fucking ridiculous, man. All right. So I'll get back to the rest of the chat in a second, guys. Appreciate it. Boban. So he says, Milan lacks leader in midfield. Fofana's top in direction since the Strasbourg days, but he doesn't know how to construct the game. Yeah, he doesn't know how to control the game at all. The tempo of the game, to set it up. Milan sold their best Italian player, Tonali. He was very attached to the shirt. Things have been paid for. Tonali said no to Juventus to go to Milan. All right, so I gotta time to cook some people too. So this was a reply to Football Kush yesterday. If anybody wants to check, his name is fucking Twitter handle is AKYLLIS_88. AKYLLIS_88. SK Kenny. I still feel Fonseca deserves a chance. This team is not yet adapted to his style of play. Defensively, we're struggling. Need to be pragmatic. You're out of your mind, Achilles. 88. Fonseca doesn't deserve a chance at all. Yeah, he didn't get the players he wanted, but this is on him. If you don't have the players that you need, you can't force your system on them. You're trying to play this positional, sexy football. We don't have the players. We don't have the midfielder. We're not fucking prime Barcelona or any team. We're not prime Galacticos. We don't have these all-star midfielders. We don't have fucking Toni Kroos. We don't have Modric. We don't have any of those guys. We don't even have fucking Tonali. By the way, they're loving him over there now in England. You know, he's got fucking. They're talking about he's got the highest IQ of anybody on that team, of course, because in Italy it's a much more tactical game. We got these fucking Milan fans still protecting the coach. And then you got Fonseca throwing the team under the bus to add this shit. Fonseca criticizing Milan for being weak defensively, making wrong decisions, and not following plan. That's on the coach. Don't throw your players under the bus. Tuchel did it last year when fucking Kim made a mistake. It wasn't his mistake against Real Madrid, technically. He went out and ripped Kim J a fucking new one after the game. You don't do that shit. And I called out Tuchel for that. And then you got Fonseca, already the fucking boat's sinking. It's becoming a fucking disaster. The players don't believe in you. You haven't gotten their respect. Now you're throwing their team under the bus. That's on you, bro. That's on the coach. Be a man and take responsibility for what happened on the field. Leave the fans. That's our job, is to throw fucking the team under the bus if we have to. We don't owe them anything. You're their coach. You're the leader. You're the face of the fucking club right now. You're out there in the post-game conferences, pre-game conferences, all that shit. You're supposed to dictate how things are being done inside the locker room and on the field, not the players. That's on you. So I got a real problem with that. So this alone is a fucking fireball offense, throwing your teams under the bus, your players. And then we got Ibra. Ibra came out yesterday. When the line goes away, the cats come closer. Then when he comes back, the cats disappear. He's talking about when he left. I left for personal reasons. I'm the boss. Everyone works for me. I'm in charge. Then they asked him, somebody asked him, did we try for Osimhen? Silence. This is from Sky. So somebody from Sky asked him about Osimhen. Did we even try to get him? And nothing from Ibra. Not a fucking peep. So we got Fonseca throwing players under the bus. So the fucking circus continues. And we got Ibrahimovic, who some of you fans out there still in love with him, think he's some kind of god. Think he's a replacement for Maldini. He's not it. And he's coming out, and something Maldini would say. I'm the boss. And yet we got Ibrahimovic with his big mouth saying, I'm the boss. The cats, disappeared, and the cats, everybody did whatever they want to do, but I'm back. And everybody listens to me. I'm in charge. Dude, I'll be surprised if fucking Jerry doesn't fire him too. Just cleans house. Fire yourself too, Jerry. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, fellas. And by the way, if any podcasters out there, any Milan podcasters, any fans are still backing management after this and backing the coach after this, you're out of your mind. You're out of your minds. Because if I catch you, I'm keeping receipts. If I catch anybody online, I haven't even seen anything yet, but I'll make sure I cooked you, just like I cooked the last fan for saying Fonseca should have kept his job. That's unreal to me. Talking about you have zero ambition. That's just fucking loser mentality. That's a loser mentality for thinking Fonseca should be kept. And that management is okay. It's not management's fault this is happening. They're doing their best. What the fuck is going on in Milan? Didn't we get new doctors? We sure did. Yeah, but the thing with Mike too, it wasn't he got smashed into. That's. I don't think that has to do with Milan Lab, Chris. On that play, he just got taken out. He went for his fucking. He went for that for the ball went through, which he should have done, and he took Mike out. Mike was in a bad spot, and he smashed him on his thigh. And anybody would have gotten a contusion from getting smashed like that. Yeah, we have already what 5 players injured. Yeah. It's a good one. Let's talk Milan. Let's talk Milan. It all comes down to awareness in the end. You, as coach, you have to know what kind of players you have at your disposal, their characteristics. Yeah. Let's see what else we got going on. Yeah, you're right. Milan. Let's talk Milan. We should have got Monta would have been good, but Juve was all over that. And I'm guessing you're referring to Ibra, right? On that one, he's an embarrassment. Thinking, coming, speaking, talking about I'm the boss, I'm this. I know. Should I've told Jerry we're not buying any more players. Let's see one more. I don't believe being even the second choice for the Milan position. All right. So we're about an hour 11 into this pod. We're gonna end it in a few minutes, Phil. So listen, real quick. Everybody in the chat, give me your thoughts on the upcoming derby with Inter. And let's see if I could find anything quick here. I'm gonna check out my favorite Milan podcaster, Martino, because he always got something interesting to say. Calling people bozos and jabronis. Let's see if he's have anything interesting to say about the situation. Okay, so Martino. So he's responding to. I love how people keep saying Fonseca could be sacked if they lose to Inter. Fellas, it has not a question of it. It's how bad are they going to lose to Inter? The decisions to sack him after these games are very funny to me because even Pioli would have been throttled. Dude, are you saying Fonseca should keep him or what? So, for anybody, I'm sure everybody in this chat knows who Martino is. And I have my issues with him. Well, not personal, but he goes back and forth. He sways, man. He's talked about in the past how Chow is a good player. He likes him and then rips him apart when he's not playing well because the fan base is on Chow. He kind of sways with the popularity of his followers. And a while back, he said Fonseca is going to surprise everybody a few months ago and things like that. Martino, listen. If you're listening, Martino, Fonseca needs to be fired now. And this is for everybody else, not just for Martino, everybody out there. Mr. Fonseca should be fired now. Roma has more ambition. Yeah, they pulled the gun a little bit too fast, maybe, but they got rid of their own club legend, De Rossi, because he wasn't performing. And yet you're telling me what? Fonseca needs to be kept? Like he should have lost. They should have fired him after this game. I don't care about them losing money, them losing face, Jerry for making a bad choice. And it's not systematic. It's not going to change everything. But if, especially now, okay, if we go into the Inter game, we lose. If we come out dead with zero fight, we played like we played yesterday. They need to get rid of him right after the game. As soon as that final whistle blows, Fonseca needs to pack his shit and go. Possibly, I don't know. I know he works for Paramount. He works for fucking Peacock Sports, whatever, fucking NBC. He works with those guys. But to his credit, sometimes Martino just look overall he has some really bad takes. He makes some good points sometimes, but they're fucking rare. Nah, let's talk Milan. So I used to live in New York. I'm actually in Mexico, so I'm on Central Time right now. I'm down in the Caribbean, port of Mexico. Born and raised in New York. Lived out on the West Coast for a few years. Moved down to Mexico now. Living in fucking paradise. Dude, Chris, I hope that's true, man. But do we have faith that they're going to find the right coach? Yes, Fonseca should be let go. 100%. They should fucking can him. But who are they going to bring in? That's that's a scary thing. So say they bring in Sarri. 4-3-3. Yeah, he's an expert at playing a 4-3-3. That's his thing. But like again, we don't have the fucking midfielder for that at all. We don't have the players. And it's not going to change the culture either. The fucking culture of the club. What's the big issue for a lot of us fans, especially myself and everybody here at Milanista 360. That needs to be addressed. And hiring a new coach is not going to take care of that problem. It's not going to take care of the problem that we're lacking. We're not going after. We missed out on Italian players that we should have gone after. And to his credit, like I said, I have my difference with Martino. But he's in the past he's said that Ricci should be bought and Coyote and stuff like that. So good for him. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. And like I said, it's all about chasing subs, right? He's got his, whatever, how many fucking thousands of followers and subscribers to his channel. Good for him. Bravo. All right. Is there something else, fellas? I'm going to call it a day. It's 8 o'clock now. I got to jump online for work in about an hour. Let's see. So one more, Chris. One of the Milan photographer posted a pic of Maldini and Tonali hugging, and he wrote a story about the good times and blaming new management. Leo liked the post. Yeah. Liao is showing how he feels as well, man. Thanks, bro. Yeah, it's lovely down here. Much as I miss New York, I spent almost my whole life out there. So I got family back there too. It's a lot nicer down here. All right, one more. I'm going to call it quits. Back in the days, Martina would never be invited to Bunga Buddha parties. Yeah, I seriously, I doubt that. Bunga Booga would be too much for the kid. He wouldn't know what to do with those women. Be too much fucking, too much for the kid. All right, everyone on the chat, I'm out. Thanks again for locking in. Thanks for keeping the fucking conversation going today in the chat. Good stuff. All right, Milan Nation, I salute you. Try to stay in it. Try to fucking stay positive as much as you can. Don't let your shit, get too crazy. Don't get too depressed, too upset. There's nothing we can do as fans. The only thing we can do is just, keep supporting the team, but stop supporting management. Don't buy their fucking merch because the merch is fucking garbage. The new merch, that's supposed to the third jersey, that's fucking disgusting. Anything with the Yankee logo, don't purchase it. That's a disrespectful fucking thing they've ever done in my life. And let's see how, when their pockets start fucking bleeding, how they feel about that. All right. Until next time, Milan Nation. See you.
What they did to Milan, told the hearts out the club, now the soul is gone. Ripped apart the legacy, Maldini's out. Milanismo's lost, man, what's this about? We fighting for the honor, for the roster and every name. They turn the corporate, but this ain't just a game. Yo, Carter came through with a suit and a check. Thought he'd run the club like stocks, show no respect. Maldini's the Don, the soul of Milan, but they fired him fast like he ain't the man. Yo, this ain't Wall Street, this is blood and pride. Sans arrows in our hearts is where legends ride. But they sliced it, diced it, ripped apart the seams. Now the fans left broken, shattered their dreams. From Sheva to Kaka, we built this throne. The Red Bird came in, trying to claim it as their own. Money talks, but it don't speak our tongue. Maldini was the king, man, where we going wrong? Red Bird blues, what they did to Milan. Tore the hearts out the club, now the soul is gone. Ripped apart the legacy, Maldini's out. Milanismo's lost, man, what's this about? We fighting for the honor, for the roster and every name. They turn it corporate, but this ain't just a game. It's more than just football, it's culture, it's soul. Milanismo's the rhythm, the beat that we hold. But Red Bird fluent with the green in their eyes. Cut Maldini like a business deal, cold and dry. The fans in the streets, they feel the divide. The heart of the Rossoneri left bleeding aside. You can't buy tradition or the spirit of the crowd, but they turn the value down when we shout it loud. From the curve of sun to the corners of the globe, we rap that red and black like it's written in code. But now it's fractured, the passion's been sold. Maldini's our hero, but they let him go cold. Red Bird blues, yo, it's tearing us apart. Took out Milan pride, now they're killing the heart. Maldini's gone, and the love's been lost. Rossoneri spirit, what's the ultimate cost? I stand tall like the pillars of the past, but they came with a plan, trying to move too fast. Maldini was the backbone, the truth in the flesh. Now we left with a void, man, the club's in distress. Red Bird flew and they brought the cash flow. Don't forget the history and the love we showed. It ain't about the dollars, it's about the creed. Milanismo's in the veins, it's the soul we need. Now the pit feels hollow, the fans been slighted. They broke the bond, now the spirit ain't united. From Baresi to Gattuso, legends we breathe, but they threw it all away, man, they made us grieve. Red Bird blues, it's a story untold. Took the fire from the furnace, now it's ice cold. Maldini gone, and we're left in the dust. AC Milan, yo, who can we trust? It's like watching a dynasty fall brick by brick. Cardinale pulled the plug now. It's like watching a dynasty fall brick by brick. Cardinale pulled the plug now.